Hey y'all, so I'm live again. Um, Basically, this is going to be on Biden winning the election, and I'm so happy. Actually, I wanted to cry earlier because I didn't really believe that he won. Like Trump was literally so close to winning again, and in the beginning, but when the mail-in votes were counted, because every vote counts in America, you know, and every vote matters. Like we're in a democracy, and if a vote is casted, that vote should be counted. And all these allegations of voter fraud and trying to suppress the vote and stop the vote is one of the most horrendous things I've ever seen or heard anybody say in terms of government affairs and, you know, just even like official way of doing things. Like, and it was crazy because I grew up Bush, Obama, Trump, Bush, right? Clinton. I've lived through Clinton, Bush, Obama, Trump the Trump the chump. That fucking dude is gonna go to prison. Honestly, why would he not go to prison? Due to the mere fact of how he subverted our democracy. What the hell? Why can't I do this? He subverted our democracy. And what he did was horrifying because he oppressed so many different groups of people. And it really affected me, his presidency, because I went from Obama to Trump. And Trump just like fueled the fans of hate and division and, disregarded the LGBTQIA plus rights. He disregarded, gay rights. He disregarded like Hispanic lives. He disregarded Black Lives Matter. He went against the Black Lives Matter movement. And if that wasn't telling enough of how he was thinking, his ideology, and just the way he was thinking about our country and how it should be. Like, he believed, honestly, stand by and ready. In the debates when he said that, stand by, stand ready, he was talking to his militant. He has militant here in the United States, and it was allowed because he systemically went against our own institutions. The FBI, the Secret Service, the CIA, Homeland Security, all of the part of the bureaucracy, all of the agencies in the bureaucracy. There's 100 and something of them. There's a lot of them. These agencies, and he systemically, these agencies are meant to keep a check and balance, right, in the world, in just in our country. And what he did was he systemically made those agencies weaker. Went against Mueller, the Mueller report. The Mueller report outlined what he did and how the election interference in 2016. It outlined 10 instances in 2 volumes where he went and had these people, like Russian influence, Cambridge Analytica. They used that data against the American people and swayed it votes with Facebook posts and all this other stuff. And it was quite particular because like that's never happened because we've never had like so much like technology, social media, blah blah blah. We're like at the height of, I feel like, social media and all this, like it's normal, it's part of society. Like I remember I had MySpace, like it's crazy. And the way it influenced an election like that was just absolutely bizarre. Like, how could fake accounts on Facebook influence real people by them posting, by them liking, making it seem like it's organic when it wasn't organic? It wasn't real people who were having these arguments, and it was like Americans arguing against fake accounts that other countries created to cause division and chaos in our country. And I saw that and I was like, oh shit. So Trump, I always knew Trump was bad for our country. Trump, hey, Carmel, relax. What's wrong, boo boos? The boo, look at her. Hey, what's wrong? Are you okay? She starts crying. But anyway, he caused so much hate and division in our country, Donald Trump. And I just think that it's just sickening. Like, that so many people voted for him still. Like, a lot of people voted for him and went for that ideology of division, of othering. That's, they're Mexicans, they're blacks, fuck Black Lives Matter. Like, who says that? Like, and I don't agree with that. Like, I think Black Lives Matter, it should be emphasized. I think when people go to the police, when they go and say the police, these police are racially profiling, people of color like me. I'm Hispanic, a black person. And when you're saying F a whole movement, you're literally in saying all lives matter. All lives matter is bullshit. And it's just a way to divide and try to belittle another movement, like the Black Lives Matter movement, which was originally the inception of the Black Lives Matter movement was, gotta speak it through, the inception of the Black Lives Matter movement was because blacks were being brutally killed. And Breonna Taylor, like, all of these, there's so many of them. Iman, I can't pronounce his name. And oh my god, there were so many of them. I remember every month it was like a new one. A new person of color gets killed by a police officer, and it was really intense. Like, that's why there was so much protesting. And it's because cops, they think they rule and owned us. And especially people, they think that they perceive a minority as less than if they're white. Do you know what I mean? Like, if the cop is white and they perceive a minority as less than because they're white themselves, I feel like that's prejudice. Like, I think police forces, they need some kind of racial bias training and comprehensive racial bias training to make sure that people, those innate biases they're taught to notice them. I don't know, maybe there should be a test where you go through a racial bias test, and if you don't pass, you don't get to work that job. Because if you're going to be a police officer, I don't think you should be racist, right? And if you are, you shouldn't be working with the public, because the public is an array of people. So maybe that's a thought, food for thought. Like, if cops should not be racist, there should be racial bias training and then a racial bias test to see if a cop is innately racist or has biases that might influence their job to protect and serve the people, us, right? So there's that policy idea. But yeah, I think, I went for Trump in the beginning when it was Hillary Clinton versus Trump. And Hillary Clinton, she just seemed kind of secretive. Like, we didn't really know much of this candidate. Like, she was a woman, she was a woman, but she was a woman. She just seemed like she just bounced all over the place. Like, she didn't really know, like, if she was for gay rights, if she just seemed kind of like, okay, like, I don't agree with gay marriage. I think it's between a man and a woman, she said on video, right? But then she switched up in 2016. Oh, I love gays. Like, oh, the whole fucking rainbow, color of the rainbow. But then expected, like, gay people, like, I'm a gay individual, I'm part of the gay community, to vote for her and be ecstatic about it. Because, oh, we're going to be ecstatic about Hillary Clinton becoming president because she bounced. No, it just didn't make sense. And Biden never really said and had missteps like that. Biden kind of, like, he might Biden, he might be kind of, they say he's gonna have dementia, which he might have dementia. That's why he picked Kamala Harris. Like, she'll pick up right after him. That's fine. So, but it was true. Biden was a little like Bernie never had stutters and like literally forgetting who his wife was and his sister, or certain things like you could see. But Trump's no better. Trump has an offset of dementia too. So both of them were the bad compared to like Bernie, which I wanted Bernie. I really loved. I actually have a picture of Bernie, me and Bernie right here today, right there. Not me and Bernie, but a mural of Bernie Sanders. Yeah, there he is. That's my true president. That's my true president. I'm no phony. That's who I went for in the beginning. I still go for him. But I think Biden was just a catalyst for, getting our voice heard. So that's why I agree with Biden becoming president. But in terms of like being ecstatic for Biden, I'm not really ecstatic. Kamala Harris, oh, I'm so stoked that she became the first female woman that is black, or that is a person of color, that is Indian. I think she's also like white. I think she's like a bunch of different races, and it's amazing to have somebody of color like me. I'm a person of color. I might not look like I am like a person of color, which is a lot of people have been saying that lately about me, and I think that's wrong. Like, honestly, like, I'm a person of color, and I've felt like I've been discriminated against. Nobody can tell me otherwise. I know my interactions with the police. Nobody does. So people who've told me that, oh, I'm rebuking you right now. I'm a person of color. I've experienced, racism from white people. Like, are you Mexican? What are you? What's your race? Because that when you're white, you have blonde hair, blue eyes. Like, that's what I think of, like, the Aryan race or whatever they call it. But I'm Hispanic. I'm a Hispanic individual. I'm a proud Hispanic, and Spaniard, Mexican mixed, and I'm proud. Like, I might be light skinned, like they say, but I'm still Hispanic. I'm still my roots. I know where I come from now. I used to try to assimilate, dye my hair blonde. I used to try to assimilate into white culture, but I became proud of who I am. I became proud of my race, and that's why I'm celebrating today. It's a day to celebrate. There might be some rioting and stuff. Hopefully not, but that might happen. Who knows? This has been a crazy fucking year, and who knows what's gonna happen. And I'll make more videos if I need to touch on that subject. If Trump doesn't want to leave office, or somehow the votes, there's uncounted Trump votes and you recount and bullshit. But I doubt that. Biden's gonna be our president, and the system worked. Our democracy worked, and it worked, and it gave us Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. I said Kamala Harris first because I didn't really care for Joe Biden. I think he's just, like I said, he is the catalyst for us to go and move our movement forward. Bernie supporters, everybody, progressive alike. So it's amazing, and it's an amazing thing. So have a wonderful day, and I can finally sleep without worrying about this virus getting out of control, because it's going to end up getting under control under Biden. So see you guys.